Next on ABC 7 at 10.
I guess he couldn't accept it or something. I don't know. We're just like in shock.
A mother found murdered, the suspect found dead, and police say the victim's son witnessed it all. What we're learning about a tragic murder-suicide.
It's all about saving lives. You know, our soldiers are out there getting into the hot spots.
New tonight and only on ABC 7. Fort Bliss's role in a new program meant to keep our soldiers out of harm's way.
If you work hard in the classroom and you're an athlete, you've got a good opportunity.
A former El Pasoan is trying to give local high school football players the opportunity he never had.
Well, is there more rain on the way during the overnight hours? And what about your upcoming holiday weekend? I'll talk all about that coming up.
I was overwhelmed because I don't really know any of these people that well.
The spirit of giving. Santa visits students at Southwest University. You might be surprised at what they asked for.
It's Thursday night. It's 10 o'clock.
ABC 7's 10 at 10 starts now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley at Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7 at 10.
She had a little boy. The little boy saw everything. And he took the little boy with him. But luckily, I guess he realized what he was doing and dropped him off at his aunt's house. And the little boy went in the house and told him, Carlos shot my mommy.
A tragic killing just 1 week before Christmas. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Estela Casas.
And I'm Rick Cabrera. Police tell ABC 7 the woman murdered last night in East El Paso was Jacqueline Valenzuela. Investigators say she was shot dead at a duplex on the 10,700 block of Vista del Sol last night.
Immediately, the search began for the person who took her car, and overnight, police found it on Trans Mountain. Inside, Valenzuela's ex-boyfriend, 27-year-old Carlos Torres, lay dead. Police say Valenzuela's son witnessed the murder. We were told that Torres dropped off the boy at his aunt's house before taking his own life.
ABC 7 went to the aunt's home today and spoke with a man and woman who lived there. They told us the boy was distraught but resting after being interviewed by police much of the night. ABC 7 was on the scene after Torres was found dead in the victim's car near the Franklin Mountain State Park early this morning. Police say he died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. A woman who knew the victim and Torres tells ABC 7 they had been dating 4 years but had broken up in the last week.
They were boyfriend and girlfriend, and they had just broken up about a week ago, yeah. And I mean, I guess he couldn't accept it or something. I don't know. We're just like in shock. And he works with my son out in Odessa.
The victim's son was not Torres' son. Our prayers are, of course, with the boy and his family tonight.
Rick, $1.9 million. New tonight. That's a verdict against the Texas Department of Transportation. The state agency is being held responsible for the April 2009 death of Keith Jackson. The 53-year-old man was a father of Lara Jackson, a national swim champion. The night he was killed, a freeway exit sign broke off, blocking the Diana exit off US 54. Several people called 911 to report the traffic hazard, but no one responded until Keith was killed by the sign. The signs are supposed to withstand wind gusts of up to 80 miles per hour, but winds that night were below 50 miles per hour. Evidence also showed TxDOT had no quality control programs to stop and inspect the bolts on the signs. Keith's widow, Martina, had this to say, quote, "I hope this is a wake-up call for TxDOT to change its practices to ensure and improve quality control and safety within our highways."
New tonight, Las Cruces police arrest a man accused of distributing child pornography. Police have charged 26-year-old Eric Pyle with 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a child. Investigators say they learned someone at Pyle's home was downloading the child porn. They also allegedly learned Pyle was the primary user of the computer inside the home, and his user account was protected by a password. While being interviewed, Pyle allegedly explained how he looks for child porn on the internet and how he hides it. He is being held without bond.
They're used to gather information, keep an eye on terrorists, and even launch attacks.
We're talking about unmanned drones. New at 10, the Army is building its first airport just for drones at Fort Bliss.
Border reporter Angela Kucherga has the story you'll see only on ABC 7.
The drone airport will serve the 1st Armored Division at Fort Bliss. It's getting 9 Gray Eagle drones next year. In the Army, they're called Unmanned Aerial Surveillance Systems, or UAS.
So the actual Gray Eagle is the largest UAS in the Army's inventory, and it'll be used for reconnaissance, for surveillance, as well as attack if needed. So they will be able to be armed with some Hellfire missiles on it.
The Gray Eagle will have its own airport about 25 miles from Fort Bliss in a training area where troops prepare for deployment. The 150-acre facility will include a massive hangar and more than a mile of runways for the Gray Eagle and smaller Shadow drone. Here at the old Ironsides Museum at Fort Bliss, you can see just how much things have evolved. And now in the future, the Army will increasingly rely on unmanned aircraft. In other words, drones. We ran into this former soldier who now pilots unmanned aircraft.
It's all about saving lives. You know, our soldiers are out there getting into the hot spots, the in front of the bullets, and if we can provide surveillance cameras, especially IED protection.
IEDs, improvised explosive devices. The contractor building the $33 million drone airport for Fort Bliss is expected to break ground in the spring. Angela Kocherka, ABC 7.
To Storm Talk weather now, parts of the borderland got some rain tonight. It wasn't much, but it was something.
Something is more than nothing.
It's much better than that.
Let's get your first forecast from Chief Meteorologist Doppler Dave Spillman. Doppler?
Yeah, you know, a little bit of light rain here, a few sprinkles here and there, although we did get some reports of some heavier amounts there in the northeast. But in the meantime, we are still tracking a little bit of some light rain. There's a look at Doppler radar, and as we travel a little bit farther to the north, Alamogordo, right along Highway 54, Tularosa, Bulls Acres, seeing some rainfall farther to the north as we head up in the Sacramento Mountains. You see from Tularosa up to Mescalero rain. Then we get into a little bit of some snow in Mescalero and up in Ruidoso as well. Farther down to the south, we're still tracking a little bit of some light rain on the far eastern portions of town, but we are going to be dealing with certainly some clearing conditions for tomorrow. There's a look at some of the rainfall amounts that we had. Not much. Farm and Ranch 0.02. War Eagles Air Museum out in Santa Teresa also at 0.02. We had 0.01 out at the ABC 7 studios here in town. But again, we'll talk about your Friday, upcoming weekend, and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day all coming up.
All right. Thank you very much, Doppler. Texas is home to Friday Night Lights, but El Paso doesn't always get the recognition it deserves. That could soon change. ABC 7's Luke Liddon is live with that story. Luke?
Rick, you were in Lubbock giving us the play-by-play when the Canatoo Eagles played Ennis in the state semifinal. It was a historic playoff run that put El Paso in the spotlight. But when it comes to college scouts, some feel scouts don't take a second look at borderline athletes. One man from El Paso is working to change that.
That's the end of the ball game!
The dream of playing college football is now closer than ever.
I'll be confident. I think I can do it.
Javier Loya graduated from Burgess High School but was never recruited, but he's now a minority owner of the Houston Texans. Loya's doing all he can to help these all-star high school players make it to the next level.
What we do is we fly those coaches up, we put them in hotels, we transport them over to the Socorro complex so they can observe our kids.
Loya pays for Division II and III coaches to come watch the All-Star Game and Combine. This gives borderland players an opportunity to show off their talent and possibly even earn academic scholarships at the collegiate level.
Under the end zone, a terrific grab.
First year, we had some pretty good success. We had 22 kids earn scholarships. So after our first 3 years, we've had 86 scholarships. And these are 4-year scholarships. We've earned over $6 million in scholarships.
And local football players thank Loya for showcasing the borderland stars.
You know, it just feels good knowing that we can have that opportunity because I know some small town cities don't have that opportunity.
People don't know about El Paso, like we're not on the map. And then having a chance to be on the map is just like a great opportunity for us.
But Loya says the player's success all begins in the classroom.
If you work hard in the classroom and you're an athlete, you've got a good opportunity now to earn a scholarship.
Athletes need to get good scores in the SAT or ACT and have a strong GPA. The Combine is tomorrow at the Socorro Student Activities Complex, and the All-Star Game is this Saturday. Kickoff is 1:05 at the Sun Bowl, and we have more details online at KVIA.com.
Okay, Luke, thank you. So what's on your Christmas wish list? A new pair of boots, perhaps, video games, an iPad? Today, Southwest University granted 10 students some very special Christmas wishes. ABC 7's Jerry Nakana was there. Jerry.
Estella, as reporters, we cover all sorts of stories, but this one lifted my spirits today. I learned about the daily struggles of some Southwest University students, but most importantly, I learned about their determination to succeed, also encouraging how several people came together to make their Christmas wishes come true. The engines roared and excitement filled the air. Santa arrived in the borderland to deliver some special gifts to students at Southwest University. Students like Naomi Valenzuela. She asked Santa for a plaque for her mother's grave.
Because my mom loved jewelry. She loved all the shiny stuff.
Valenzuela is struggling, but thanks her father for taking care of her.
It's been tough getting a job, and it's a little tough with my dad doing the bills and everything, and it's just us.
Southwest University's Secret Santa granted Valenzuela her gift. Jaime Mesa didn't even ask for his gift.
My little group of angels, the girls that I have in my class.
Mesa is fighting cancer, and at the point he was trying to sell his books for money, his classmates asked Santa to pay for his medical bills, and Santa delivered.
I was overwhelmed because I don't really know any of these people that well that they would do something so big for me.
Virginia Espinosa is also battling with cancer.
San Metro es el bus.
Espinosa doesn't have a car and she's dependent on public transportation. So she asked for an electric wheelchair and she got it.
Oh, estaba muy emocionada.
I was so emotional, Espinosa tells me.
Me va a hacer ahorrar energía.
This will save me energy, she says. Energy that I can use to be with my family and energy that I can use to focus on school. Mesa tells me he's planning to work in the medical industry, and Espinosa says she wants to be a radiologist. Southwest University tells me this was made possible thanks to Dillard's, which donated more than $5,000 for families in need of clothing. BEK Home Medical Equipment also helped out with getting that electric chair that Espinosa got, and she used it almost immediately. I actually saw her riding in the wheelchair, holding her granddaughter on the way to the bus stop. Stella?
Wow, that's terrific. It certainly puts things into perspective, huh, Jerry? Jerry, thank you.
A lot of people with big hearts here in
Oh, isn't that
Sun
something?
City. That's
Yes.
great. The Airway I-10 interchange that produced whats and huzz is now producing oohs and ahs.
Up ahead, what El Pasoans and those just passing by the Sun City have to say about the colorful wind turbines on the freeway. And in some truck weather, Doppler.
We'll take another look at Doppler radar, show you where the rain is, how it looks for your Friday and weekend. That's coming up.
The Airway Beautification Project is officially finished. TxDOT spent $7 million on the project, and today, with the help of the flip of a switch, it lit up the beautiful new sculptures at Airway and I-10. We first showed you the sculpture during ABC 7 at 5 today. The wind turbines were designed by artist Vicky Scurry, and an interesting note here, they actually generate electricity, powering all of the interchange. El Pasoans we spoke with are impressed.
I think they're spectacular. It's beautiful to have that in this town. It's just really nice to see us finally catching up with the rest of the states.
I like them. I think they're beautiful. They weren't here the last time I was here.
Well, I think it's impressive for El Paso to have something, especially coming from the airport, something that's extravagant like that. We needed something like that here in El Paso.
The sculptures come in all the colors of the rainbow. Officials say they probably won't be changing colors for the first few weeks. That way drivers won't be distracted. This is the first project as a long-term plan to beautify the freeway in the heart of El Paso between Hawkins and Executive. Tonight we asked that you take our online poll at KVIA.com, and an overwhelming majority, 65% of you say you like the sculptures. Well, yeah, right?
Lights. Pretty lights.
They're mesmerizing. They're pretty mesmerizing, aren't they? They're pretty cool. So
I vote I like them.
I do too. How about you,
I'm in the
Dave?
majority.
I do too. You know, I remember when they first went up, we were all wondering, what is this going to be?
Well, there it is.
But now we see the finished product, and it does look nice. We picked up some light rain across town. Nothing real heavy, at least officially out at the airport. We picked up 0, but we picked up a little bit here at ABC 7 Studios. And if you look at Doppler radar right now, and we head farther up towards the north, you can see we're tracking some rain along Highway 54, Tularosa. Alamogordo, Bowles Acres, and up in the higher elevations, you get into up in Ruidoso, and you could see some snow occurring over there. Mescalero, right along, again, Highway 70 there between Mescalero and up in Ruidoso. Some snow is continuing to develop over there. You know, they might be able to pick up a couple of inches by tomorrow morning. As we zoom down to the El Paso area, you can see right along Homestead Meadows there. Waco Tanks, there's a little bit of some light, maybe some moderate rain in some of these pockets here. But again, on the west side of town, even portions of the east side, the northeast side of town, we're not tracking any rainfall. If you take a look at some of the numbers, you'll notice around Hatch, Radium Springs, you get in this general area north of Las Cruces, and anywhere from 3/10 to 4/10 of an inch of rainfall over there. And if you're going to be heading to the New Mexico Bowl up in Albuquerque, this is what we are anticipating. 33 at 10 o'clock, lunchtime at 40. Winds will be out of the west to northwest. And then by 2 o'clock at 44, 45 degrees by the 4 o'clock hour. And notice your current temperatures. We're 39 in Las Cruces, 47 officially out at the El Paso International Airport. We have 40 up at Tier C, and Deming at 36 degrees. So already cooling down as we're starting to bring in some drier air. Now, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, this is snowfall accumulation on the ground, and this is what we're anticipating. No snow, unfortunately, across the state of Texas, southern New Mexico, and here in the El Paso area. But again, those folks to the north will be able to see some snowfall up there. Here's a look at our Christmas Eve forecast. And again, haven't really tweaked the forecast a whole lot. It's going to be warm. Look here, 65 degrees will be the high temperature on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we're anticipating a nice day too. A little warmer temperatures. In fact, 68 degrees for the high. We'll start off at about 38. Now the wind's expected to kick up a little bit on Christmas Day out of the southwest at 5 to 15 with some occasional gusts, maybe right around 25 to 30 miles an hour. So here's how it looks overnight tonight. We're going to leave in about a 10% chance over the next hour of maybe some sprinkles. That's about it. Temperatures down to 35. Tomorrow, 54 degrees. It will be a cooler day. We will have mostly sunny skies in your forecast on your Friday. Las Cruces down to 33. 53 will be your high temperature for tomorrow. And over the next several days, 56 Saturday, 59 on Sunday. And then once we head into next week, notice those temperatures in the mid and upper 60s. Some occasional breezes. Overnight lows, though, by Saturday morning. Look at that, 31, 32 degrees by Sunday morning. Then we continue to see those overnights warm up. Look at sports coming up next.
What's up, Borderlands sports fans? Louis Del Rio in the house. A jam-packed weekend of sports. Tomorrow night, UTEP hosting third-ranked Arizona in the Don. Saturday at the Sun Bowl, the best seniors in El Paso will play in the annual All-Star Game. But of course, we start with the Miners as they take the field for their first bowl game since 2010. Kickoff at noon as UTEP takes on Utah State in the Gildan New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque. The team left yesterday from the Sun Bowl. They're now in Albuquerque getting ready for the big game, and they'll play in hot Aggies team as the Miners try and win their first bowl game since 1967. The Aggies finish the season 9-4, winning 5 of their last 6 games. The team knows this game on Saturday will be a tough one.
They're a real physical football team. They run the ball a lot. They got talented players in every phase of the game, and it'll be a great challenge, but we're ready to take the challenge head on.
We just got to come out and play. We got to be disciplined. We got to get them off sides a few times, and we got to play good defense against them.
Now the 23rd annual Greater El Paso Football Showcase will be held Saturday at the Sun Bowl as the top seniors from all 34 El Paso County schools will represent their city. East versus West. The players were out tonight practicing with their teammates at the Sun Bowl, getting ready for the big game, the final game for these players to showcase their talents for families and friends. And now, as you heard earlier in the newscast, for scouts, as a ton of Division II and Division III scouts will be in attendance, and it gives added motivation for these talented kids.
It's a good idea because people from El Paso know, like, we're not a big place. Like, people don't know about El Paso. Like, we're not on the map. And then having a chance to be on the map is just like a great opportunity for us. Just be out there.
Great opportunity for those kids. Now to the hardwood tomorrow night at 9 p.m. The Miners hosting number 3 team in all the land, Arizona. The biggest game in the Don in recent memory. The Miners 6-3 on the season, coming off an impressive win at home over southeastern Louisiana. Now get ready for the arrival of the Wildcats. A big game. The Wildcats undefeated 11-0 and are winning their games by an average of 14 points. No doubt the toughest game of the season for the Miners, but that's exactly why they scheduled it.
It's a tremendous game for our town. It's a great
great game for our city. We used to be in these games all the time in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and that's been our mission, our goal to try to recapture some games that were nationally relevant. And
I think it's just a great opportunity, to show, everyone in the country that we can play with, any team, and so I expect everyone to come out with a lot of energy tomorrow, and for it to be a great game.
Now, it should be a good game. Now to update tonight, a limited number of unused student tickets for tomorrow's game will go on sale to the general public at 8 a.m. Tickets are $12 each and will be sold only at University Ticket Center. Now, the latest news on Cowboys running back DeMarco Murray. He had surgery on his left hand on Monday, but has practiced the last 2 days with the team and took part in individual and team drills today, which is a great sign. Murray, after practice, said his status for playing Sunday against the Colts is all up to him, and he hopes to play.
I'm competitive, very competitive person, and I want to help this team out as much as I can. And, whatever that, portrays me doing, come Sunday, then, we'll see from there. But I've had 2 good days, and, we'll see how it goes.
Cowboys fans are hoping for Murray to be behind Romo on Sunday. Now, Thursday night football, no playoff implications, no fantasy football implications, just 2 terrible teams finishing out the season. Another terrible game on Thursday night. The Jags get the ugly win, 21-13. The Jags, 3 wins on the season. Titans, just 2. And the biggest sports news today, all-star point guard Rajon Rondo headed to Dallas to run the point for the Mavericks. Mavs get Rondo in exchange for Brandon Wright, Jay Crowder, Jameer Nelson, and draft picks. So good trade for Mark Cuban. Now he can add some defense to that offensive juggernaut already established in Dallas. And that'll do it for sports. Your 7-day forecast is next.